We're back on the record. It's 3:29. Is this tape number 2?
Thank you. We're talking about the involuntary, which I believe was filed on July 1. Would you know? Does that sound right?
I don't know the exact date.
Okay. And you said Mr. Pugatch called you?
Yes.
Well,
someone in his office. I don't know if it was him or not.
Okay. And what did they say?
The form we got to file, I need to do it because I was the company officer, and who's your attorney? And I said, I don't have one. And I asked them if they could file it, and they said they could.
Okay. Did they prepare it or did you?
I sent them the data. I didn't prepare the form, but I gave them all the spreadsheet.
Well, what did they, you gave them a spreadsheet? And where did you get it?
I created it.
From?
Peachtree.
Okay, where would that have been at, physically?
In my computer.
Okay, you have Peachtree, do you have the Peachtree in your computer today?
It's PDF'd out.
Do you have it in your computer today?
Not Peachtree, no.
Okay, but at that point in early July, you did?
No.
So how did you, tell me how you did it.
I told you it's PDF file format. The data is there. I don't have the program.
Okay, somebody had, so you had in your computer a PDF which had all of the accounts payable of Global.
It had our best reckoning of Global, yes.
Well, why would it be best reckoning? It's right out of Peachtree.
Yes. I will be succinct.
So you didn't have this document prepared, you already had it, correct?
No, I had the data for it. I had to prepare the document. I had to prepare a summary he could use to do the document. I had the raw data.
Okay, in Peachtree?
Yes.
Which was not on your computer?
The data was on my computer from Peachtree.
And how did you access it? Not through Peachtree?
No.
How'd you access it?
Probably PDF.
Okay. I don't understand at all.
I think he's saying he had a PDF on his computer with the raw data, and that he compiled a list using that.
It could have been Excel.
It's like QuickBooks.
Yeah, doesn't matter. You can pull the data in a lot of different ways.
Okay, so you pulled an accounts payable, do you know as of when?
When I was asked.
Okay, as of July, whatever it was.
Whatever they asked me to do. They told me the rules of the form.
Was this case already filed when they called you, or don't you know?
Don't know.
Okay, so somebody called you and
Said I got to do this as an officer of
Had you
Global.
already known there was an involuntary filed?
Don't know.
So you're not sure, but maybe this was your first call?
Yes.
Okay, and they told you you need to prepare this document?
Yes.
You went and got the accounts payable somehow and forwarded it to this person at Mr. Pugatch's office, correct?
Yes.
And then they prepared the form that you filed?
Yes.
Do we have a copy of that?
The 20 largest?
Yeah.
It was marked. Pretty sure that was marked, right?
I want them to have to be able to look right at it. I have it if nobody else does. I got this whole team of paralegals, nobody's ready. I have it. Okay, this has been previously marked in another deposition, but I'm going to show it to you just for the purpose of identification. Is this the list of 20 largest that we've been talking about?
It looks correct.
Okay. I need a few more, I'm sorry.
Here you go.
You fellas both have it?
I've seen it. I know what you're looking at.
All right. Okay, so you gave them the data, they filled it out, sent it to you, you signed it?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
It's dated August 6th, does that sound right to you?
Yeah, sounds
And you've
fine.
acknowledged your signature here?
Yes.
Okay, there's only 5 creditors here, correct?
Whatever's there was my best estimate.
I thought you sent them a payables.
I did. So whatever is there is my best estimate. It's things being correct for global.
I'm sorry.
That is the amount of people we owed money to, best of my
I
knowledge.
thought you had a printout from Peachtree.
Yes.
There's no estimating when you have a printout from Peachtree. This is what Peachtree says is our accounts payable as of today.
So everything in Peachtree is always correct? Would that be a yes or a no?
I'm not going to answer your questions. If I'm looking down, it's not because I'm ignoring you. Please, I don't want to belabor it, and I don't want to play word games. Where did you get the data that created this list of 5 creditors?
It would have been originating out of Peachtree.
Okay, I don't know what originating out of means.
That's where the data would have been compiled.
Okay, and there was only 5.
There is only 5 here. I assume what I sent them is what they came up with, and this form is correct. If they correctly did this form, then there's only 5.
Okay, and did you read this before you signed it?
At that point, I did.
You see the part about declaration under penalty of perjury?
Yes,
So you said this is true and correct
yes,
when you signed it.
yes,
So you're still certain that it's true and correct?
to the best of my ability.
Is that a yes or a no?
Yes.
Now, let me just review. The company was in financial crisis in April, correct?
Yes,
Because its vendors weren't being paid, correct?
yes,
Then Mr. Tarrant, at your request, paid some of them, correct?
yes,
And you left these 5. Does that
Yes.
sound right?
yes.
And you swore this was true and correct, correct?
Yes.
And that's all I have to say about that. This was already marked? This was marked a long time ago.
Pretty sure it was
It's marked as Wortley 11.
I'm practicing concise.
You're getting better, I must say.
Thank you.
Have you spoken to Mr. Tarrant or Mr. Roberts about Crispus's potential purchase of the debtor's assets?
I'm not sure
You're not sure if you've had conversations?
about that specifically.
Were you aware that they have negotiated to purchase Global's assets?
I know they're involved. Yes, I'm aware that they're.
When did you first find out?
About a month ago, or, I don't know.
How did you find out? Who told you?
I think Ron told me.
Okay. Have you collaborated with them in any way?
No.
This is all them, not you?
I have not collaborated with them.
Okay. And then I said, this is all them, not you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know if Plasma plans to use the assets that Crispus is trying to buy from the debtor?
It won't.
No, it doesn't intend to use them?
It's different technology. It will not.
no?
It's a no.
Thank you. Have you transmitted that thought? Have you ever said that to Mr. Tarrant or Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Can you speculate as to why they would buy assets they don't need?
Don't speculate.
I can't speculate.
Do you have any, did they ever tell you?
I can't speculate.
No, I didn't ask you to speculate. Did they ever tell you?
No.
And you have no idea why?
I can speculate.
Okay, please do.
For me personally?
again, I would caution you not to guess or speculate, only speak on your personal knowledge.
Okay. On my personal knowledge, I think they feel the intellectual property has value.
But not to plasma?
No, we use different technology.
Okay, so do you know if they have any other business ventures which might use this technology?
I do not know of any.
Okay. What intellectual property do you think that they are trying to buy?
All the patents.
Okay, how many patents are there, if you know?
Technically, none.
So they're buying no patents?
Well, we have provisional filings, which are in my name.
Okay. And you'd agreed, strike that. Had you ever agreed to assign those patents to Global?
There is no employment agreement, and there is no assignment agreements.
So that's a no, you never agreed to assign them to Global?
That's a technical no.
Okay, explain to me why it's a technical no as opposed to a regular no.
Because in real life, if businesses operate as they should, there's never a confrontation that would ever bring up that issue.
Explain.
Patents occur, and employees and employers have reasonable relationships, and things get assigned.
So in other words, if you were getting along with Mr. Wortley, you would have assigned the patents. Is that what you're saying?
Should I be answering that?
Well, you have to answer, but again, I wouldn't speculate or guess. I would only answer what I know if I were you.
If Global were operating in an amiable manner with its managing partners, they would have been assigned.
I'm going to take that as a yes to my question. I'm looking at your original operating agreement, which was marked as, come on, where's my team?
Original?
The original.
It's 24, I think.
No. It might have been 12.
12.
I'm showing you the operating agreement was marked as 12 and direct your attention to section 2.1A, which jumps from the bottom of page 2 to page 3. You testified you didn't really read it, but nonetheless,
2.1A, you said?
2.1A at the bottom of page 2 says James Juranitch hereby agrees to transfer into this LLC all rights to an interest in the intellectual property rights of the invention titled Recycling and Reburning Carbon Dioxide in an Energy Efficient Way.
It's one patent.
Okay, did you assign that to Global?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It's not a patent yet.
Okay, what is it?
It's only a provisional. You assign
Okay.
patents when they become patents.
Okay, and you can't assign a provisional?
It's not a patent.
Okay, so you agreed to nothing here.
No, when it becomes a patent, then you agree to assign that patent.
And
I
so-
filed 17 provisional patents that were varying greatly on that subject matter.
That had to do with Global?
Not by that definition.
Okay.
put your mic
Oh,
on your lapel so you're not crushing.
Sure.
All right, now I'm looking at what I believe is Exhibit 1, the amended and restated operating agreement. Again, 2.1A says that you agree to transfer into this company all rights to and interest in the intellectual property rights of the invention titled Recycling and Reburning Carbon Dioxide in an energy efficient way, and all research and development work and intellectual property rights in and ownership to the work that has been done in the field of production of biofuels and/or capturing carbon dioxide.
That relates to about a third of the patents I wrote.
There's no question pending, so let's just wait for a question and
Okay.
answer.
Did you assign any of those intellectual property rights to the debtor?
No,
Okay, why not?
they're not patents yet.
Doesn't say patents, it says all intellectual property rights.
And no form was generated, no request was made.
So, you were waiting, I don't understand. You signed a contract to do something, but you were waiting for them to demand it?
Nothing was put in motion to accomplish what's described there.
And who would have done that?
I would expect Joe.
Okay, you're the president and the majority stockholder.
I'm the technical guy.
You were president 2 hours ago. Did you get demoted?
No?
Check
Joe?
the form.
I apologize, counsel. Forgive me.
You don't have to apologize, just don't do it.
Okay, I'll do my best. Okay, I understand your answer. Where does that document come from? Where does that document come from? Over there. He generated it. Came from a presentation. Mr. Juranitch, I'd like to have this marked as Wortley 25, please. Showing you a list of patents.
Is this for me?
Yeah, that's for you, and I'll get one. You'll take that one. It's new, fellas.
Everybody share?
Okay, you recognize that document? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, what is it?
It's a list of provisional filings.
Okay, these were... Who created this document?
Not sure on that.
Could it have been you?
Yes.
And the top says Global Energies LLC Technology, correct?
Yep.
And it's got a list of how many patents?
Provisionals.
So it's got a list of 10 provisional patents?
No.
How many?
9.
I miscounted, forgive me.
Didn't miscount. 2 of them are together.
Okay. Do you know what this form was used for?
No.
Was it ever used in a sales pitch to potential customers?
I don't know what it was used for.
You never used it?
I would use this in a sales pitch.
Well, you said you saw this before, right?
No, I didn't.
You've never seen it before today?
I said I wasn't sure.
Okay. And you don't know where it might have been used or where it came from?
It was probably a summary. No, I don't know. I'm being concise.
Okay, you don't know where this came from? And you don't know if you've ever seen it before?
I want to give you a real answer, but I want to be concise. I'm really torn here. So I'm going to be giving you a real answer and not being concise. This information probably came from me. Whether I generated the form or not, I don't know.
Okay. But is this a fair representation of what you call patent applications
No.
that are outstanding in your name?
No.
Why, because there's more?
Yes.
But are these ones that could have been considered as Global Energy's property?
No.
Why not?
You don't fit the description in the operating agreement.
Okay, so these are things that you have, and they're all, what is the conversion date? What is the filing date? That's when you filed the application?
Yes.
And all of these appear to post-date the original operating agreement, correct?
Yes.
So these are patents you applied for while you were working with Global Energies, yes?
Wrote many on my own time.
That's not my question. These were filed during the time period when you were employed by Global, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Does plasma, what does plasma do?
It makes power with renewables.
Okay. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Am I supposed to be brief or expand?
Well, start expanding and I'll let you know.
It started on, you're not going to see it in the website. We don't publish that information there. It started on making plasma-based feed water systems, and it's expanded to something called renewable natural gas and blended syngas.
Okay. And who are its customers? Who would it like to be its customers?
Anyone that needs energy.
Okay. Does that include power plants such as the ones that Global was targeting?
Much less.
What do you mean much less?
If they needed to buy power, they could be a customer, but we're not cleaning up power plants like Global was.
Okay. Have you approached any of Global's potential customers?
The only one that there's a crossover on is Iowa.
Okay, and what are you trying to sell them? Try and make me understand simply.
Power generating facility.
Okay, so it's something that you would construct?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's different than what Global was trying to sell?
Yeah.
Okay, what was Global trying to sell?
We were trying to work with a power company there called Alliant to clean up their emissions with our reactors, and at the same time get rid of their MSW, municipal solid waste.
Okay. And is this the same customer or just the same state?
Same state. The original customer was going to be Alliant primarily. They're not going to be in it now.
And who are you pursuing now?
Actually, is this relevant? Do I need to answer this?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, city,
Which city?
Marion. But we're not even sure of that. Could be Cedar Rapids.
Who else are you pursuing? Any other customers, large customers, small
Yeah,
customers?
yeah. State of Vermont, SIPCO, Quaker Oats, still trying to work with Alliant on a different product.
And you, Mr. Tarrant accompanies you on these sales calls?
Yes.
All of them, most of them, some of
Most.
them? Most. Forgive me if I already asked you this, but do you have an employment agreement with
No.
Plasma? But you're salaried, correct?
Yes.
You have no ownership and you're salaried.
Yes.
Any agreed upon bonus?
No.
No profit sharing of any kind?
No.
Did Mr. Wortley ever talk to you about going to visit Deutsche Bank?
Yes.
What was the general concept there?
That was the bone of contention. He never really told me the details.
So he asked you to go to a meeting and didn't tell you why?
And I kept contacting him saying, because he wanted me to send information in advance, and I kept telling him, I need to know what it's about, I need to know what they're looking for, I need to put together a presentation. I said, our presentations are bigger than we can send by email. I gotta get it FedExed.
Did you have any idea? Was it seeking borrowing or seeking equity, or
I thought he was gonna try to sell the company to him.
what made you think that?
It was just a guess.
He gave you no basis to know that, you just guessed?
He said they were some of the biggest investors in energy-related industries.
Did you ever have the meeting?
No.
Why not?
Joe canceled it.
Do you know why?
No, that's what started the meeting on the 12th. I asked him why.
Did you ever sell Mr. Wortley any cars?
Any cars?
Cars. C-A-R.
Cars, yes.
Did he pay you?
Yes.
Did he ever sell any back?
No.
Okay.
Did he buy them back from me?
The same thing. Maybe I misstated. Did you ever buy any of the cars back?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Brain fade.
And did you pay for them?
I don't think any money ever changed hands on them.
That's a no, right?
Well, hang on. Because there was stock involved too in a bank. And so it's not a simple answer.
Well, what were the terms of the sale?
Joe gave me $80,000 down on the cars and told me I had to invest it in a bank that he owned part of.
And, all right, that's when he bought them from you.
Yep.
Then you bought them back. That's the payment I'm asking about.
I don't believe there's any payment on that.
Was it contemplated or just not made?
Not contemplated or made because he never made payments against the loan either. He took the cars and took a loan against them from me.
All right, and then I'm looking at a bill of sale for $486,000. Does that sound right?
David, how far are we going with the car?
Not much further.
It has nothing to do with anything here.
Yeah, he gave me $80,000, said I had to put it into his bank. So I didn't really see it as a good payment.
Okay, but then you bought them back.
Yes.
And then you agreed to pay $486,000?
It was a loan. He never paid me anything on them other than $80,000.
It's pretty loud.
So you wanted your cars back. You never got paid, you wanted your cars back.
Yes.
And you signed a bill of sale saying, I'll pay you $486,000.
What really should have happened, I think, is a forgiveness of the loan because he never gave me
So
money against it.
this is not this document isn't what it purports to be.
I'd have to read it and understand what you're trying to ask.
I don't think it's fair to everybody to pursue it any further. I'm pretty close. I need 5 minutes.
Time is 4:02, we're back in the record.
Okay, let me... So do I.
They were special counsel.
Let me show you what's been marked as Wortley number 26. Ask if you recognize that document. Give me another one.
26.
don't think this was in it originally. I don't think this was in it originally either.
What is this, for the record?
There's no question pending.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess the question is if you recognized it.
I don't recognize it all.
Okay, do you recognize any of the documents?
Yes.
What is it?
Corporate overview, and then I believe there's more documents in the back that originally were PowerPoints that I made.
Okay, and what is this document used for?
Probably Gates or Joe doing a sales pitch to someone.
Mr. Wortley and Mr. Gates did sales pitches for Global?
They wanted sales documents. I assume they used them for something.
But you have no knowledge of whether they actually ever did?
Correct.
Okay, did you ever use that document?
Not that I can remember.
Well, didn't you have sales materials you would use?
I sold technical. This is overview.
You didn't use any sales materials?
Yeah, but it was a lot more technical than this.
Okay.
Bits
So
and
you never- So you
pieces.
never used this document?
Bits and pieces of this came out of some of my slides. I never used this document.
Okay. And you don't know of anybody that ever did?
I don't know of. I can expect, but I don't know of.
Okay. Had you ever seen this before today?
The whole document?
The whole document?
No.
You looked through it, have you seen any of the various pages?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever use any of those?
I made a number of them.
Okay. I take it you made the technical ones?
Yeah, a lot of the write-up too.
And what was the purpose of the document when you created it?
Well, it looks like a number of documents have been pieced together, is what it looks like.
Okay. Once again, it looks like a sales document to me. Is that not what it is?
It's not a technical sales document, it's an overview document. That's a different level of sales.
And what is this level of sales?
That would be a Bill Gates or a Joe level of sales,
Used for what?
talking to someone.
Okay, but I wasn't under the impression they did any sales, so again, you're guessing?
I'm not completely sure what they all did, but they would ask for sales information. I know at some time Joe was trying to get an article written and things, which in my mind are sales.
Okay. Your testimony is you never used this document. You wrote some of it, but you never made any use of it.
I personally don't believe I used it. What I'm not sure of is if Gates or someone put that in like a North Carolina bid or something, which could have
Okay, but
been.
nothing you can recall specifically?
Yes.
Okay. You testified that you left the company on May 14th and have not worked there since. You also, correct?
With the doors locked, payment of
Yes or no,
payrolls
please.
canceled,
Yes or no,
insurance
please.
canceled, yes, I didn't work there anymore.
Okay. And you also testified that for a while you weren't sure if the company would survive. I think you maybe said resurrected.
Yes.
Did you make any effort to resurrect the company?
Yes.
What did you do?
Met with Rich
And when was that?
after May 13th
Okay, and what was where'd you meet?
at his guest house
Which is where?
in Lighthouse Point, I think it's called.
In Boca?
I don't think it's Boca.
Okay. Tell me what happened at the meeting?
Well, evidently Joe swooped in on Rich at the airport and was doing damage control.
Well, that didn't happen at the meeting, right?
This is what Rich told me happened, and at the meeting. And Rich had Joe's side, and he wanted to know what was my side.
Okay, and what'd you tell him?
Pretty much what I told you.
Okay. And what was, was anything resolved? Did you,
In my mind, Rich wasn't sure if he wanted to get involved anymore,
okay.
and I didn't blame him if he didn't want to.
Did you ever speak to Joe about resurrecting the company?
No, I figured Joe had my number if he wanted to call, since he was the aggressive guy.
You never initiated contact?
I never initiated the problem.
Did you initiate contact after May 14th?
No.
All right. Did Mr. Wortley ever send you any emails about trying to work together to get the company back in operation?
I don't believe Joe sent me any emails or called me. He had one through his attorney about sled dogs.
Okay. I'm showing you an email. Tell me if you've ever seen that before.
You marking this?
Oh, yes, you're right.
Depends if he recognizes. You recognize that document?
Yeah, hang on a minute.
Well, the answer is yes, we recognize.
Yes, I do.
Okay, then I will mark it. 27 maybe? I'll let you guys say that. No,
27?
okay, did you receive this email from Mr. Wortley?
I recognize it, so I must have received it.
Would you dispute that it was on or about June 26, which is the date at the top?
So a month after the blow-up?
Month and a half.
Yeah, I can believe that happened a month and a half after it.
Okay. What was your response, if any?
At that point, it's ridiculous.
Did you respond?
No.
You didn't send an email or call?
No, did not.
Why not?
It was ridiculous.
So when you said that it might get resurrected...
We're a month down the road. We're way too
So you've
late.
given up hope by this point?
Yeah, we're way too late.
Okay, you were on to your next
Yeah,
adventure. Fair?
yes.
Okay. Where's the one that's marked? Is that... Then I blame you. I'm showing you an email that appears to be from Rich Tarrant, dated June 13th. Let me ask you if you recognize that.
Yes.
Did you receive that document on or about June 13th?
I'm not sure. I would expect I did, but I'm not sure.
I'm confused. Do you recognize it?
Yeah, but I don't get every email that has my name on it. They don't always come through.
So you don't recall? I need a yes or no. Do you recognize it?
Let's say yes.
Okie doke. Number 28, or 38, 108. Okay. Did you reread this when you got it?
I don't remember.
Okay. Attached is a proposal dated June 13th. Looks like it requires your signature. You ever see that document before?
I think I wrote parts of it.
Parts of that agreement?
Yeah.
Did you mark this?
Yeah, it's 28. So let me rephrase for you. You worked with Mr. Tarrant in creating this proposal?
I think I did.
Okay. Who took the leading oar? Who did the first draft?
I think there was a discussion of how we put it back together, and I probably did the first draft. I recognize someone who's writing it, and that's probably how it went.
So a couple drafts went back and forth? Was it you, just you and Mr. Tarrant?
I think it was actually me and Ron Roberts. I don't think Rich was involved.
Okay. But Rich sent the ultimate email.
No, I think Ron did.
Well, this one says it's from Rich.
Yeah,
It's
but
copied to Ron
I worked with Ron on the project.
on this project.
No, pretty much on everything, trying to pull Global back together.
Well, okay, I hate to swing at a low pitch here, but you said your efforts to put Global back together. What efforts were those?
Make an agreement everybody could live with.
So you were having those conversations with Ron Roberts. You
Yes.
never spoke to my client, Mr. Wortley, correct?
You know, you gotta realize Mr. Worley was the aggressor who just kicked everybody out and caused all the mayhem. So I didn't have any real desire to speak to him.
So you didn't speak to him?
Correct.
That's what I said.
Yes.
But you were having conversations with Ron Roberts to resurrect Global, but obviously Mr.
My desire was to have least impact everybody, not end up with a room full of lawyers in front of a camera, and try to get an agreement that would work.
Okay, well, you failed so far. You didn't do a very good job.
I know. That's one.
How many conversations would you say you and Mr. Roberts had about resurrecting Global?
Probably, somewhere between 5 to 10.
And were there emails involved?
I'm sure there was.
Lots of them?
Not lots.
More than 10?
I don't know. I'm feeling somewhere around there, but I have to
Okay,
look.
that's fine. And what was the gist of your plans? Ultimately, it obviously culminated in a document on June 15th.
Well, I had lost the ability to feel we had integrity amongst the players. And so we're trying to make a deal where everybody could take the assets and make their own money with them.
Okay, but you weren't, well, let me be blunt with you. You weren't interested in resurrecting Global with Mr. Wortley's ongoing involvement, is that correct?
Correct.
So this was an attempt to make a deal where he would be out of Global.
No, he had rights to all the intellectual property in the areas he personally liked, which was the coal industry. He could go after it.
Okay, but he would have those contract rights, but he would no longer have a part of Global.
Well, if you have the intellectual property, you have the key to Global.
I understand that, but
So yes, he would have part of Global.
he would have the same intellectual property as Global.
Patents and everything else that were being developed, yes. So he had a lot of assets.
So I understand that, but not Global.
That is the key part of Global.
Okay. If he was going to have the so I'm gonna let it go there if you don't mind. You know whatever happened to this proposal?
I think Joe rejected it.
Okay.
That's what I was told.
But you never discussed it with him directly?
No.
Okay. Where's that notebook there it is. My erstwhile associate, what was the note? Yeah, probably.
3.
That was the note, the $1 million note.
Yep.
There should be one more, if you have them in order. Maybe not.
Which one?
Your note, yeah.
I think it was
I think it was introduced also. Okay. May I?
You want my copy?
I'll give it back, I swear.
You don't even give me copies. There you go.
It's rough out there, what can I tell you?
It's rough.
All right. Mr. Juranitch, I'm showing you a document that says Master Promissory Note. Let me ask you if that's your signature on the second page.
Yes.
Okay, do you recall signing it?
I'd have to read it and think about it. Do you want me to do that?
Nope.
Okay.
Thank you. Did you make any effort to resist the involuntary bankruptcy?
Object to form.
So what does that mean?
It means you have to answer still.
Oh, okay.
That's Greek for hurry up and answer.
I don't remember the timing of when I was told by Ron he was going to do it. I seem to think I remember trying to say, let's do a compromise, and that may have been what led to that document, but I'm not clear on the timing of the whole issue.
Okay, that was in mid-June. The bankruptcy was filed in July 1. Did you, well, let me make this simple. Are you aware that a debtor may contest an involuntary bankruptcy filing?
But I still have to answer, right?
Yes.
No.
Still yes?
No.
Did you talk to anybody about it?
No.
Nobody?
No.
Did, when you spoke to the Rice Puget firm, anybody, did you ask them?
No,
Check
because,
to the form.
so do I still answer?
Yes.
He's not even allowed to object, but that's besides the point.
You know, it's a new science for me.
I understand. I just want to know if you knew. That's all I want to know.
Okay.
You didn't know and you didn't discuss it with anybody. You didn't discuss it with Crispus's lawyers.
You know, at that point, these guys had the money.
Yes or no, Jim, please?
No.
The warehouse that you rented on May 14th,
No.
13th,
Yes.
are you still renting it?
Yes.
Is that where Plasma is operating?
No.
Where's Plasma operating?
In Fort Lauderdale.
Then do you know, does it have a lease?
Yes.
Do you know who signed it?
I did.
In the name of Plasma?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know the address of that? I want the address of Plasma's headquarters.
730 West McNabb. Might be 740. It's one of those two.
And the address of the warehouse?
Somewhere off 13th Street.
And
I gotta look it up.
now, after the bankruptcy was filed and a trustee was appointed, you returned some equipment to the trustee, is that correct?
All the equipment.
Okay. Who, give me the logistics. Who made the arrangements? Who got the truck?
I don't remember.
Well, it's either you or the trustee, it seems to me.
No, it was one of my people. I don't remember who did
Okay.
it.
And they returned all the stuff?
I was involved in returning it.
You were?
Yes.
Okay. Who were you dealing with at the trustee's office?
Frank
Frank
Kessler.
Kessler. And there was an inventory created? I think you testified to that before?
Excruciatingly detailed.
Okay. If you don't mind, I'm going to turn it over to Jeff. I may actually have a few more, but I want him to go. I don't think I have any more, but I'm reserving my right.
Mr. Juranitch.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Jeff Bast. We've met before, right? I'm counsel for the trustee. I just have a few questions. You testified earlier that you were owed approximate sum of $50,000. Do you believe you're still owed that sum today by Global Energies?
Yes.
Is the sum a precise $50,000 or is that an approximation?
It's an approximation. There was one transaction, I don't know if it was paid for by the company or not, which we'd have to net out if it was, which had to do with a credit card.
An expense reimbursement?
Yes.
Okay. So is it possible that the claim amount is in the neighborhood of $46,000 or something in that neighborhood?
It will be between 40 and 50.
Okay. And what records would you need to consult to confirm the amount?
I believe we have the records. It'd be American Express with some personal charges on some airline tickets and things like that.
It's your American Express?
It was mine from Liberty and Associates. It was addressed to me, my name was on it, but it was really Liberty and Associates that owned the credit card.
So, and did you pay the bill personally and then
No.
Global was supposed to reimburse you? So why would why would that impact the amount you're owed?
Because they were personal charges, and so I'd have to take them out of my draw.
Oh, because you made personal charges
Yes.
on a card. Okay,
Yes.
I understand. Thank you. Other than that amount, are you owed any other sums by Global Energies?
No.
You're owed any payroll?
Well, yes, there's a week of payroll missing.
Was that payroll paid by Crispus?
Yes.
So you're not owed that payroll anymore?
I guess they would be owed that payroll.
Crispus may have a claim, but you're not owed that claim. You indicated before, you testified earlier about some emails on your computer regarding invoices.
I'd
you
given
recall that
copies
testimony?
of all that to you guys.
Thank you. You anticipated my question. And also the spreadsheet, which was the source for preparing the 20 largest creditors. Have you provided a copy to the trustee as well?
All the origins of all that data was in the copies I gave you.
Great. And the Peachtree data itself was also
Yes.
provided? Okay.
And it was in PDF format.
I'd like to show you a document that's been marked as Exhibit 23. I think it's Trustees 23.
You figuring out how to get from there to here?
Yeah. Can I unravel a little here? So I can walk over there? This is my only copy, that's fine.
There's technical difficulties here.
Actually, do you mind if I borrow your mic over there?
Yeah, that's a better idea.
Go ahead.
I just want to ask you about this schedule, and particularly the entities identified on this schedule, which has been marked as T23. And just by way of background, this document was prepared by the trustee from the Peachtree data.
Okay.
And it reflects payments made from inception as reflected on the Peachtree data to various parties.
Okay.
And the payments are sorted by dollar amounts. So, and what I would like to know from you is for what purpose payments were being made to these various entities. I don't want you to go through the entire schedule, I just would like to know about maybe the top 10 or so.
Okay.
Payments to you, $187,932,
Salary and draw.
salary and draw. Raman Monsanto,
Patent attorney.
and would those payments be for patents pertaining to Global Energies exclusively? Or is it possible that some of these payments also pertain to your personal patents that had nothing to do with Global Energies?
That will be yet determined.
What do you mean?
It's a legal definition, who owns them.
Okay. Setting aside the issue of whether you own them or Global Energy, we know that there is a group of patents that relate to Global Energies, correct?
And some that don't.
Okay. Okay. What I'm trying to determine is, as I understand it, there's a group of patents that relate to Global Energy, and there will be some disagreement about whether those belong to you or whether those belong to Global Energies. Is that fair assessment?
Yes.
And okay, and those patent applications are what I call the global energy patents. Maybe we can call them the Jim Juranitch patents, but as I understand it, you own a whole lot of other patents, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that have nothing to do with
So
global
let's
energy.
just call them Patent Group X.
Okay, Patent Group X are the patents that may or may not belong to Global Energies.
Correct.
Okay, my question is, do the payments to Raman Monsanto, do any of the payments to Raman Monsanto relate to anything other than Patent Group X?
No.
And how can you be certain of that?
I can't be 100% certain, but I am highest probability believe that.
Do you use Raman Monsanto for your other patent servicing?
Yes.
And do they have separate billing
I
by
haven't
category?
done ones out of this area during this time period.
Payment to Jacobi Energy, DEV, what is that?
We bought plasma torches with that.
And was that a one lump sum payment, or were those payments over time, installment payments?
Let me double check it.
Do you know?
Yes, it was, we gave them one lump sum payment. Yes, that looks correct.
And are there any other sums owed to Jacobi Energy that you're aware of today?
No.
The next party is American Express. Do you know what those payments are for?
Yeah, that was credit cards for the people. It was operations of the company.
And to your knowledge, were the entirety of those reimbursements or those payments business-related expenses?
Well, I know I have some personal ones in the latest statement that I don't know if they were paid for or not, so that would be one exception.
Those are the ones we discussed earlier?
Yes.
Okay, other than those, are you aware of any expenses paid, American Express charges paid by Global Energies that were personal in nature, whether for you or anybody else?
Yes, there was some for Joe. Some parts for his boat and parts for his cars, stuff like that.
And are you aware that in the instances of those personal expenditures, was Mr. Wortley, strike that, that's terrible. In the instances where Mr. Wortley paid personal expenditures on his credit card, did the books reflect that he had taken salary? And that, again, a bad question.
I wouldn't know.
Okay. Could have saved me all that time struggling with
Sorry.
that question. No, I'm joking. Dr. Lou Cicero.
Cercio, he's a consultant on plasma torches.
And what was the payment?
That's a retainer, which is for his consulting agreement.
It's a retainer?
Well, he works against it. He takes charges against it during the year.
And when was he paid that amount, do you know?
I'd have to look it up, but it is not refundable if that's what you're looking for.
How was
This guy can multitask like few I've ever seen.
How did he earn that retainer?
He did exclusive consulting to Global Energies in the area of plasma and reactors. And specifically with Sabatier reactors, and we tried to expand it to reactors.
And was there a specified period over which the retainer would be earned?
Yes.
What was that period?
A 1-year period, and then we had the option to renew.
And do you believe that he served the 1-year period?
Oh, yes. And this one, where I think is renewed, the year would not be done.
Okay, so is it your belief that the entirety of this retainer was in fact earned? Recognizing that you're not a lawyer, I'm not asking for a legal opinion.
Okay, yes, then.
Was there another answer if I didn't give you that clarification?
Yes.
Why don't you give it to me?
Well, we obviously aren't using them in Global Energies since May. You know, so did he really earn it? I don't know.
So, let me restate the question then. Do you believe that the 1-year period would have expired after May of 2010?
I'm sorry, could you repeat?
It was a 1-year retainer, the $50,000. And do you
Yes.
believe that the 1-year period would have expired after May?
Yes.
Do you want to object?
He can't object, he's mute.
Yes.
Okay. And do you know from memory about how long it was?
I don't remember what day we signed to know how many months were left, because it was an annual thing.
Alan Reynolds, what are the payments to Alan Reynolds for?
He was an employee, so it had to be travel and living.
And these would have been travel reimbursements,
Yeah, they had an agreement on travel. They were coming from Detroit.
but not compensation, because compensation was paid by one of Mr.
Yes.
Whitley's entities?
Yes.
C.W. Fisher,
Yep, power, putting in electrical power.
electrical power. And were they paid in full, or they owed any sums, to your knowledge?
You've got the schedule on who's owed what, right? Is that handy? 'Cause I
Just
don't,
going from your memory.
from memory, they're not owed anything.
Tom Juranitch,
Same thing, travel,
another employee, this would be reimbursement?
yes.
California Analytica.
Yep, NOx, CO2, CO analyzers.
Do you need that repeated? So this is a trade service provider
It's a tool,
tool. Okay, would that have been a lump sum payment?
yes,
And you received all the products for
Yes.
which the payment was made?
yes,
Let me finish the questions.
sorry.
Dr. James Richardson,
Consulting agreement.
and was he paid in full, or is he still
I
owed?
believe he is owed.
And for what is he owed the amount?
Well, I think we told him we were re-upping his consulting agreement, and then we never paid him.
And did he continue to provide consulting services?
No. Well, yes, he did up till May 12th.
And the re-upping of his agreement would have been for what period?
Probably since January, but I'm guessing. We'd have to look up the contract.
Atlas Copco,
Fittings,
were they paid in full, to your knowledge?
I don't think they were.
What about AAA Modern Air
Air conditioning to fix Joe's building.
to fix Joe's building?
Well, it was in the area that Global was using. The building air conditioning, and it failed.
And why would Global Energies pay that invoice?
Well, technically, I guess it wouldn't have to, but it was not defined and we fixed it.
Were you asked to fix it by the owner of the building?
No, I probably just did it.
Where were we?
Florida rigging.
Florida Rigging, thank you.
That was moving the PWR equipment into the facility. The PWR is the stuff from Terry Moore.
Florida Epoxy.
When we got into the facility, it was pretty badly deteriorated, and I had the floor epoxied trying to bring it back to life.
And why did the floor need to be repaired for?
Well, the lighting was poor, the place was dingy, it looked like a backyard garage. I was trying to make it look semi-professional if I could.
And is that an expense that Global was asked to incur, or why did Global incur it?
I did it because I was embarrassed to bring people in the future. So it was a presidential decision.
To your knowledge, is Global entitled to reimbursement for that expenditure?
Well, we're definitely not using it.
I didn't ask on Florida Rigging, were they paid in full at that time?
I believe so.
And Florida Epoxy, are they owed any money?
I do not believe so.
Okay, what is RD Original Design?
It's a designer,
What were they designing?
plasma chambers, feeders, and they're owed money, I believe.
Do you know how much?
I'd have to look it up.
We're almost done here. Metropolitan Machine,
I'm not sure on that one.
who would know?
Alan Reynolds would know for sure.
What is JEC Machine?
I'm thinking these are where we actually built the reactor test stand, because they're getting to the point where I don't recognize them.
Okay, I think I have no further questions. Let me just confirm in my notes. Yeah, I have no further questions.
If I could have a 5-minute break, I'm pretty sure
use the bathroom.
I'm all yours. You guys go have your...
I never talked to you. It was literally right there.
Not that work.
What? Your mic.
Okay, Mr. Juranitch, I don't actually have any more questions, but while I've got you and your lawyer here, the hearing on my client's motion to dismiss is November 10th, 9:30 in the morning in Fort Lauderdale. I would like you to be there. I will subpoena if I have to. I was hoping with your attorney here, and I don't want to create more work than necessary, but if you will agree to be there, I will take you at your word with your lawyer present. If you want to think about it, you want to confer, you want to not answer my question, then we'll just subpoena you.
How about this? By 5 o'clock on Monday, I will tell you if he'll be there, and if the answer is no, you can subpoena him.
Sold.
And if it's yes, we'll be there.
So, thank you very much. With that, I have no more questions. You have a right to read the transcript, or you can waive that right. Your lawyer will...
Are you ordering the transcript?
Absolutely.
Okay, so he'll read, I guess, just let us know when it's available, and we'll figure out the logistics of how to get it done.
Okay, you know the timing, November 10th.
So you get it till about 9.
Yeah, late, as late as possible.
See you in the
That just means they're
position
going to have an
we're
opportunity to read that position.